Happy Chicano Park Day. My name is Julie Corrales, a local poet. I was asked to share some poetry, and for me it's a real honor to be part of the program. I love Chicano Park. I love this community. I'm rooted in it. It saved my life. I remember when I was little, I lived in Eastside, and we couldn't come over here, but I knew from being little, and my aunt having lived in Logan, like having seen the park, and I used to talk about it, like there's this park somewhere over there that has these like murals about us, and I knew it existed somewhere, but all through my early teens, we couldn't come over here. And then as I got older and made my way to the barrio, I always say I followed the drums here. And now I'm here, and this is home. And when I say like Chicano Park saved my life, Chicanismo saved my life, La cultura cura. And so it's what I write about. And I remember I've written poetry since I was like 11. I think was the first time I wrote a poem. And I would go to different like open mics and say some poetry, and it never resonated. And I remember the first time that I read poetry here on Logan Ave, and it was a totally different experience for me. It was magical. I was like, it resonated with people, and I was people's mirror, and they were my mirrors, and it was the first time that I felt like I wasn't saying my poetry into the void, right? I was saying it into to family and to others like me. So I'm happy to share some poetry with you today. It's one of my favorites. If you've heard this before, I hope that you still enjoy it. It's called "To the Girl Sitting on the Ground Outside the Office Bathroom. Her mother was cleaning on the night I was working late. I see you, Morita. I remember. I too was subjected to boring nights outside of a bathroom, outside of an office, in a hollow building, my bone-set loneliness echoing off of tile floors and white walls, while my mother knelt over a toilet just on the other side of the door. I was also met in the hallway by lone late workers, a man in a plain button-up, sleeves rolled up as if he would ever have his arms up to his elbows in anything. The tall, thin white women with features I saw in every 80s music video, but never in my neighborhood, her beauty a jarring reminder that I did not belong. The men would almost always stop in their tracks, and their jaws would fall slightly. They wouldn't say anything, but if they had, I'm certain that they would have stuttered. Their eyes would go from wide and round, who is this foreign girl jetting out in my comfortable world, to furrowed and fiery, why am I affronted with things I don't want to see? And then they'd notice my mother's cart. And all my skin would wince with their judgment. Who would ever bring their child here? The women wouldn't miss a beat. Their eyes would dart up and down my prepubescent body. They'd size me up in the 2 seconds it takes them to size up any woman of any age, and quickly surmise that I was no threat. Brown and round and dismal, far, far removed from anything that is them, a half glance telling me all the things I already knew. Their pace never slowing, I'd just disappear right in front of them. My mother never even materialized. I remember humiliation pulling me down into hard brown carpeting. My mother would soon vacuum while walking backwards out of the room so as to leave no footprints. She, a ghost that empties trash cans. Me, a ghost of a ghost. Mija, I know you are angry at her for bringing you here. I know you wish to shed her like old skin, leave her and her cleaning cart and the hard carpet in another life and walk into a new one. A life where you roll up your sleeves for no reason. A life where you do more than haunt hallways in places you don't belong. You will. You will, and your whole life when you see cleaning staff in the hall, you'll offer them the warmest smile you can muster. Your eyes will glimmer si se puede, and they'll look right at you, and their eyes will beam back gracias. You'll take your lunch out back where they gather. You'll find every opportunity to tell them, mi mamá también limpiaba oficinas, and bask in their pride. They will see their daughters in you as I see my mother in them, as I see me in you. That night, as my childhood poured into the office foyer, I pulled myself to the present. I turned my whole body to face you, reaching clumsily for something to give you. I managed to say, I remember coming to work with my mom at night, just like this. All the shame dropped from your brow and we smiled at each other. I see you, mija. You are no ghost. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. I spent like probably 2 years just writing about my mother. It was a interesting experience, and that was even rooted here. You know, it came from learning to connect with our ancestors in this very space, doing meditations to connect with our ancestors, and learning like I had to heal that with my mother, and heal that colonial trauma, and that's what I mean. The types of things that Chicanismo has done for me, and Chicano Park, being here in the comunidad, has done for me personally. I want to share one more poem with you guys. I'm gonna see if I can get through this. I tried to do this one from memory. Celebratory poem. I think it's appropriate. It goes, Me encanta ser raza, trenzas y masa, ribbons on the hems of dresses, rippling through time, zapateadas en resistencia, que viva la mujer divine, Spanish Inagua, la Virgen y Quetzalcoatl. In botas con caballos or in low riders and tattoos, creating beauty out of ashes is what we do. Stars formed from the universe, draped in Pendletons, Dickies, and Converse. Artists, intellectuals, and healers, políticos y poetas, homeboys and homegirls, pandilleros, guarden los cohetes. Instead, crack that 40 and rim that michelada. Mariscos pa la cruda, Vicks cuando estás mala. Nopalitos con carne, patitas en vinagre like my tía las hizo, papas con chorizo, tortillas heated over an open flame. You weren't a woman till you could flip them by hand. So go ahead and bump that chente loud, loud into the night. Y échate un grito for love or for strife. Now put on them oldies and dance with the love of your life under the moonlight. Esta es la cultura, la llevamos dentro, viento, fuego y dulzura. It's in the gait of the cholo and in the sweat of the labor. It's in the strength and the drive and the ferocious will to survive that transcends all borders, arbitrary lines drawn to conquer and divide and to further our genocide. But what they just don't know is that what binds us together is stronger than gold. The gold they murdered our ancestors for. It's in Danza Azteca y respeto a los padres. It's in gang signs and murals and chisme entre comadres. It's in our history, in this struggle. And chiles al comal. Es lo cultural. Lo llevamos adentro, viento, fuego y dulzura. Que viva la cultura. Y que viva Chicano Park.
Que viva.
Que viva.
Thank you.